What is a CSV file? Comma separated values. You can open it on Google Drive here in Google Sheets, and it will look like a spreadsheet. You go to GitHub and you click on a CSV file, it will format it as a table for you. You can look at the raw format, which is just a set of values that are separated by a comma. On the command line, it's a simple file. You look at the contents, it's what you would expect. Values that are separated by commas. In a CSV file, each line is a row. The values are separated by commas. The first line often contains headers, although not always. They're just values separated by commas. By convention, the first line is the header. It's like a spreadsheet that is saved as text. In Python, files can be opened with the open command. Pretty simple. So file is the name of our variable. We're going to open it with the Python keyword open. And there's quotes, data.csv, which is the name of the file, and we'll specify read or R. We can create another variable for content, file.read, and then file.close when we're done reading it. Once you store the contents of the file into the Python variable, you can also manipulate it. So if we run main.py, we're simply reprinting the file, but it's been read into Python. So we could extract whatever lines we wanted to, or look for certain keywords. The primary problem is you may forget to close the file. In a simple program like this, you don't need to close it. Well, it probably won't have any impact, but in a larger program, it could cause problems. So for a professional deployment, you definitely want to close it. But there's a more common convention, which is to use the keyword with. When you open the data.csv, as file, content will be file.read. And this context manager will automatically close it. And you still have access to the content. Common scenario is that you will want to read the lines. So we go file, .read lines with a S. And now we can print the lines. And it's a list, actually. So we could print just the headers or the first line of the first row of the data. Notice that in read lines, each line has a new line character at the end. So there's an extra space here. We can split the line. So the first line is the header, month, sales, and expenses. So we can go header parts equals lines 0 for the first line dot split on the comma. And now we can check out the header parts. That's split on the comma. So we know that the month is the first part. We could grab directly the month, the first column, and we could get the month of the second. Line 2 equals lines 1. This is the first row of data. Data 1, data row 1 equals line 2 dot split on the comma. And then we'll print the first column of data row 1, which will be the data that we have for the month. The month would be January. Okay, let's comment this out. And we will print out the lines again. Lines are a list of lines. So if we had a single line, we have it here, but it's actually printing out a new line character, which we want to strip out. So there's a very convenient command called strip, which will remove the characters. So now there's no new line character here. It's also right strip to strip everything out to the right of it, which will give us the same results. Left strip strips out everything to the left, but because there's nothing on the left here, it strips out on the left, but we retain the ones on the right. So we probably just want strip. Okay, we'll look at line 2 again. And just to recall, line 2 has the data. So right now it's just January. We could assign it to a variable such as month. We can extract parts of this string in case that we don't want the entirety of January here. We would review our data and realize that we just want the first 3 characters of January. It would be Jan. And also grab the second part of the string if we wanted to. And isolate the last 3 characters here. To slice the string, there is a start. It could be negative, which means it's from the end in 3. There's a colon and there's an end. So there's a start and a stop to where you want to manipulate the string. So 0 to, let's say, 3 is the first 3 characters. If it was 1 to 3, you would strip out the first character. And it would just be the second and third characters of the string. Just a word of caution that if you were to write your own program, you would probably end up using Pandas, which is pretty simple. It hides a lot of the things from you, which is why it's not as good for learning the basics. And you do have to use a separate package. But that's pretty simple. Then you can make a data frame. Read CSV. It's nicely built into Pandas. And the data CSV is the same data CSV file we used in the previous application. In this case, I know that the first column is month. And we're able to extract the first data frame of the column month, the first 3 characters here using the same Python string, the string slicing. And you could see very easily how useful this could be. You can absolutely do it with just opening the file, reading the lines, and manipulating lines. You can probably just figure out, even right now, as you're watching this, how to do it. But just as a note, that if you were to do it for a real project, you might want to consider Pandas. Join our 100% free course to get more lessons, slides, code examples. See you at industry-python.thinkific.com.